Dr. Subramanian, Managing Director and Head of Institutional Equities with Access Capital. Dr. Subra, good morning. Thank you for joining us. The auto stocks in 2018 have underperformed. Eicher is down 15%, Maruti is down 15%. So what is the narrative at the conference? Don't worry, demand is strong, or one should get worried because interest rates are likely to go higher?
I think that the investors are coming here, meeting the managements to understand, what exactly is happening. At one level, in this conference, we have 15 companies, we have OEMs, we have auto ancillaries, component companies. We also having financiers as well as dealers. So investors who come to this conference will be able to get a full perspective at one shot as to what's happening around. So that's what they're coming for. Having said that, I think that one of the clear continuing messages which is happening as far as India is concerned is that the consumption demand is continuing to be very strong. Whether earnings have run up, whether markets have run up ahead of the earnings is another question. But I think that the underlying performance of the auto companies, as we've seen so far, continues their momentum, and looks like 2018-19 is another strong year. As per most of the management, they are quite very confident about the forthcoming year.
Also, Mr. Subramanian, tell us a little bit more about your auto conference. This is the fourth that Axis is holding. What's been the interest like? What's the sort of participation? What are the companies actually joining in today?
Actually, we have about 15 companies. Like I said, that we have OEMs. We have OEMs which is for example, Mahindra is there. We have auto components right from the very large ones like Motherson Sumi to Talboros to Balkrishna Tires to everyone. We have distributors, dealers like Landmark. We have financiers, Sriram Transport Finance. So overall, there are about 15 companies presenting at our conference. On the investor side, we have a significant number of investors who have registered. We have more than about 150 investors from over 60 institutions who have registered to participate in this conference. So we hope that at the end of the day, we would be able to get investors a full-fledged, well-rounded view as to what's happening in the auto market.
Dr. Subra, I have a very direct question, and something which I don't think there is a clear answer to, whether this entire EV debate is real or not. But when I meet money managers, when I meet fund managers, they are very divided on whether they should buy auto ancillary companies or not. As a house, you have a very fine understanding of auto ancillary. So what is your view there? Do you think some of the current auto ancillary companies will become opaque and rusty after 10 years, or the entire fear of EV is actually not real, and EV may pick up, but it may not pick up as everybody else is anticipating?
I think when we are talking about EVs, I think most people, when I'm talking about both investors as well as corporates, believe that the EV story is real. There is a debate as to the adoption, how quickly it will be adopted, how soon will be adopted, and how pervasive will the adoption be. There is a lot of debate around that, because the infrastructure which is required around the EV still needs to be built out. So the only debate is in terms of how pervasive and how quick it is going to be, whether it's going to be 10 years, 15 years, or slightly longer time for us to see no one's calling for a death of the auto ancillaries the way they are today in a shorter time frame. So that is very clear. But even then, many of these auto companies have started their whole process to re-engineer themselves for the future.
Dr. Subramanian, thanks so much for taking the time out and highlighting what really is this auto conference all about. And we'll chat again once the conference does end. We would love to hear the takeaways from all the companies participating.